everybody. Welcome to 2 Minutes and Beyond, the podcast where we review the Toy Story movies 2 minutes at a time. I'm Bianca, and this is Macy.
Hello.
Hello. Today we are joined for a second time by our guests from last week. Guests, would you like to introduce yourself again?
Hello. Hi, I'm Jesse Perrotta. I do things that are cool.
Who are you?
Jesse Perrotta. I'm one of the co-producers of the YouTube channel JP and Beyond, where we have made a lot of Toy Story related content because we are huge fans of the movie, and you may know live action Toy Story as being our big achievement.
Flagship, yes, the flagship of the content.
So yeah, that is I, and my partner here is Jonason, Pauley.
Yes, that's my name, and I do the same things he just said. Thanks for having us again.
Except he says it more concisely, and
Well, I think you introduced us better, so you're doing good. Thank you for having us again.
Yeah,
of course.
Thanks for joining us again.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so in this episode, we are talking about minutes 45 and 46 of Toy Story.
Yay.
All right.
Some good minutes.
They
All
are.
minutes of this movie are good,
Yeah.
by the
Yes.
way. Before we start talking about the minutes, I'll just say really fast that the whole reason that we decided to make the entire movie over again is because we couldn't pick a favorite scene. They were all just too good.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be silly to do most, but not all. So we'll just do them all. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty good. I do enjoy your live action Toy Story. I have seen it, and just the whole thing, like the way y'all did it, it was pretty well done, and it's just fun to see it in a different form or like a different media, and I really enjoyed it.
yeah, thank you. I think that you two are probably the perfect demographic for our movie because it's made for people who have the first one memorized forwards and backwards like us,
Yeah.
and would love to relive it but differently. So-
Right, yeah. Well, all right, should we get started?
Let's
Yeah,
do
go
it.
for it.
All right, cool. This clip starts with Sid opening the window shade and saying, "Well, we have ways of making you talk." He uses a magnifying glass.
Oh,
and
Jesse wants to be Sid. Jesse wants to be Sid.
Yeah.
Oh, you really
missed it.
wanted to
He
do
says,
that?
just say, yeah. So when he says something, just throw it over to him.
Okay.
So he actually says, "Oh, a survivor. Where's the rebel base? Talk!" And then he throws Woody on the ground.
That was the
And-
last episode, Jesse. Get with the
Yeah,
program.
the last
Oh.
clip ended in a weird spot.
Well,
that's
then
okay.
I'm sorry.
You can
for-
start there if you
No,
want.
you're fine. Continue.
And then
Okay.
he says,
Then he says, "Well, we have ways of making you talk." And then this is an action part, so I guess you have to read
Yes.
that.
So continuing. He uses a magnifying glass and the sun coming through the window to burn a mark onto Woody's forehead and says,
"Where are your rebel friends now?"
he's interrupted when his mom yells from downstairs that his Pop-Tarts are ready.
Sid, your Pop-Tarts are ready.
All right.
And that's where the clip and this particular clip ends.
Oh,
so
no.
Oh, okay.
let's discuss.
Yeah. Or that's
Can I throw in, before we get too deep in it, that Sid, your Pop-Tarts are ready is one of the best lines in this movie.
Yes.
There's many good ones, but in our version, Andy and Sid are brothers. They're played by brothers, and their mom is Andy's mom. Or sorry, my mom is Andy's mom. Their mom is Sid's mom in this
Mhm.
line, which she did perfectly. One take wonder.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
she got
perfect.
the inflection exactly right, and it was great.
And the weird accent that she has.
Yeah.
I've always loved that part. Just hearing the mom, it always made me laugh because it sounds like a stereotypical, like a whatever mom. She's just like, just come down and eat your food.
Yeah, she sounds like slightly neglectful, but also like I feel like she probably just babies him or doesn't really care what he's up to necessarily. So
Yeah. Just like well, let boys be boys, whatever.
Yeah,
and by
like-
the way, your Pop-Tarts are ready.
Yeah, she really labored over those Pop-Tarts.
Yes. He could have just eaten them cold, honestly.
They're always ready. Pop-Tarts are always ready.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Toy Story musical from the Disney Cruise Line. But
I can't bring myself to watch it. I would love to see it in person, but I don't know. I've never taken the time to watch it online.
Please suffer through that.
but
It's worth it.
Sid's mom is like taken up to, like, her couple of lines she has are like taken up to 11 in that. She's like, Sid, come scratch my back.
Yes.
Oh, no.
It's horrible and it's hilarious. It's, oh my gosh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You're not convincing me to watch this.
At some point, we're going to do like a bonus episode about the Toy Story musical. So that'll be fun.
I might have to watch it then.
Yes, you're going to have to. And you know what? You're going to have to come back for that one because we're going to have to all suffer through it.
You just do a live watch and commentate while it's happening.
That's we could do that. That's an idea.
Oh, man.
Sorry, way side tangent on one line.
Sid's teeth and his braces in the magnifying glass are kind of terrifying. Like, when you look really closely too, you can see that Sid's molars are basically just these little white boxes in his mouth.
Yeah, they didn't spend too much time on the teeth. And when I was little, even watching this in theaters at 5, I was always grossed out by Sid's mouth. I was like, it just looks dirty. He looks like he doesn't brush after eating the Pop-Tarts. Like, I was just grossed out by Sid.
His parents do care. They got him braces, I mean.
True.
Yeah, they're trying.
They at least care to some degree.
Good for him.
Yeah. The braces are really extra scary because they're so huge in the magnifying glass, which is one of the shots, which is first one of the reasons why Victor got the part in our version, because he had real braces, but also he played this scene really well. Like I was mentioning in the last episode, he had trouble saying highly medical lines, but in this scene, he just like nailed it. He was awesome and he loved it. So
That's great. Oh my gosh. Shall we move on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So at the 25-second mark, as soon as Sid is gone, Woody stands up and screams with the mark on his forehead still smoking. He runs.
I'm doing the lines of everyone else. Remember?
He runs over to a bowl of cereal and puts his face in it. Buzz comes over and pulls a suction dart off of his helmet and another one off of his butt. He pulls up to Woody and asks,
Am I Buzz now?
Sheriff, are you right? I guess you could be Buzz, yeah.
Yeah, okay, are you right? I'm proud of you, Sheriff, and Lester Man would have talked under such torture.
Sure hope this isn't permanent.
yes, as Woody looks at his reflection, that is exactly what he says.
And then still no word from Star Command. We're not far from Spaceport.
The door. It's open, we're free! Sorry, there's action
Woody,
in the middle there.
Yeah, we're missing some action.
We missed the part with Woody and the Fruit Loops on his eyes.
Yeah. Forgot to mention that there's Fruit Loops on his eyes.
Oh yes, Woody does have a couple of Fruit Loops over his eyes, which is when Buzz comes over and talks to him.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
And then
so we did that.
No, you got to say the line again, but in the
with Fruit Loops on my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You got to say.
Please go get some Fruit Loops.
No, I just need to hear it in the voice that you have Fruit Loops on your eyes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
He doesn't say anything with the loops.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
He goes, gets them knocked off.
And then Woody, we don't know what's out there, was the next part.
So yes, Woody suddenly notices through the reflection of the spoon that he's looking through that the bedroom door is open, and he exclaims,
The door. It's open, we're free.
And Buzz says,
Woody, we don't know what's out there.
So he starts to run to the door, and the mutant toys block the way as he screams.
I'll tell you what's good.
So let's discuss.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Doing the lines really messed us up. I'm very sorry.
No, it's
you're
great.
fine.
It sounded like a fun idea.
No, it's great. Keep doing it.
Chaos is like my favorite thing, so keep doing it.
Okay.
The reflection on the spoon is like pretty technically impressive, I think, especially for like 1995 that they were able to pull that off.
We got dried milk
Yeah.
on there.
Uh-huh.
And I love how they actually got like the bowed look of the spoon and not just pasted, like an image onto the spoon.
Yeah, I think this is like a spot where you can really see the technology being used to the fullest, because like reflecting and then curve that, it's like something the computer's like, oh yeah, I got this, but in 2D animated, that would be like not so hard, not so easy.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I'm noticing when Woody gets up and screams and runs, right as he runs off camera, I just noticed that like one of his pants kind of becomes like see-through, like you can see the background clipping through his. It's like so fast, but I happened to pause it right where I was like, "Oh, what's going on?" I'm like, "Oh, it's just like I
just
can see
weird
through
little
his
glitch."
Yeah, just a tiny little glitch.
Did
I love the sound of him dunking his. There's so many. I mean, the sound, like just the sound design and his. It's always like a part of that gets overlooked a lot in movies, and it's just like.
Yeah.
But you would notice if it was something different or just like not as good, but like. I just love all the sounds in Toy Story.
Yeah.
Right, for sure.
We've actually talked a lot about how like the sound design in this movie is very cartoony, like in a way that the other movies aren't. It kind of has its own like identity from a sound design perspective, which is kind of neat. It's very like cartoony, very 90s, like slightly over the top at times. It's great.
For sure, because you don't hear stuff like this anymore in like the new Toy Stories or even just other movies from today. You don't hear a lot of the cartoony slapstick sounds or like the overly exaggerated sounds, like especially like what we're talking about when Woody dunks his head into the milk. Like you don't hear too terribly like crazy sounds like that
or
anymore.
like when Woody's teeth shakes when he's scared.
When he has that little plasticky rattle sound.
But it's not cartoony to the point where it's distracting. It sounds real. Like, of course that would make that sound. It's just a really good sound.
Yeah.
And like Babyface, every time he walks in this clip and the last one, it's like, I don't know what kind of metal they really rubbed against to get that, but it's perfect. It's like,
yeah.
That would be such a fun job. I would love to be a sound design person with a huge warehouse of junk. That'd be so fun.
That would be fun. That would be a lot of fun.
We kind of already moved on past this point, but did anyone ever actually try like burning something with a magnifying glass as a kid?
I was like older when I finally got around to doing that. I feel like I think I was like a teenager when I finally tried messing with that, and I did burn some like ants and one time. I mean, I was kind of mean. One time there was like a lizard, and I put it over his head. I assumed he was gonna run away like as soon as he felt the heat, so I just like I put the light on him, and like he didn't move, and I was like, oh, why is he not moving? And then when I moved the magnifying glass away, his head was just charred. I was like, oh
my god,
like he died instantly. So
it's like, well, I don't know how instant it was. He might have ran if it was instant. It's the frog in the boiling pot thing.
I was gonna say he probably was like, oh, this feels good, and then no.
Lizards like heat, Jesse. It was
That's
like,
true.
This is too much of a good thing.
His body was adjusting to it until the point where it just couldn't, and it before you're right, before he even realized he was just dead. I'm sorry, I'm confessing animal cruelty on the show. I don't know. I don't want. Sorry, I hope that doesn't. You guys don't get reported or something like.
Yeah, I never knew that story. I burned Woody's head for our movie.
Was it permanent?
The dent in his head was, yeah. So if I had stayed on for another half a second, it would have had a solid hole in his head. But,
oh my gosh.
But no, it's just a little dent that got melted. And it actually started to smoke a little bit, which is in our version of the movie. I know it's really low quality camera, but you can kind of see real smoke coming off of his head.
Yeah, I noticed that. I thought that was pretty neat.
For me, it was neat. I don't know about for Woody, but...
You're like visual effects.
But you know what else? It was like, I was fine with it because it just makes my Woody that much more accurate to the movie.
We kind of have an ongoing sort of debate. I mean, it's not really a debate because I feel like we've kind of answered it, but about whether toys feel pain or not. Because there are times like this where I mean, it seems obvious that they do, but then you think about like, say in Toy Story 4 when Woody's like voice box is being ripped out of his back and he doesn't seem to react very much.
Yeah.
Well, him screaming here, I feel like it's more of a panic, like I'm on fire. Not that it hurts, but like he's just freaking out that he's on
That
fire.
could be.
I mean, when his arm comes off, he doesn't seem to be like. But Buzz says "ow" when like Lotso and the toys are are unscrewing him in the back. He says "ow," so
which shouldn't hurt. Screws coming out of you. That
but is it the screws?
Hurt. I mean, that's his suit. That's his suit, not his body. I don't know. It's weird.
So it's even weirder that he says "ow." Like, unless it's just like they're just talking like we would. But I don't know.
I say "ow" when things should hurt, but don't.
I say
sometimes.
"ow" when I think something is going to hurt, even if it doesn't end up hurting.
Yeah.
So
you're just like Buzz, is what you're saying. We're all just like Buzz.
Have little screws coming out. We're like, oh.
But I feel like they do, on some level, feel pain. Just, it depends on what the story calls for, too.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, that's the real answer, is whatever the story needs. But
probably one of the best examples is when Buzz closes his helmet on Woody. Ah!
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
I mean, so I guess they do.
I guess so.
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
Or when they're fighting and they're yanking Woody's arms back like Jesse does and Buzz does, he goes like, ah! Like,
it hurts when it's funny. I think that's
when it's convenient.
It's like comical pain.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he stayed quiet the whole time when Sid was burning him. He didn't say ouch when it first started to catch fire.
I mean,
so
a lesser man.
He's just really good at his toy
a lesser
job.
Man would have talked under such torture.
I know.
or when he gets stepped on by Bonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a really nice thing for Buzz to say. Buzz is such a sweet guy.
Especially after like everything Woody's done to him in this movie. Like,
yeah. Woody's just mean to him and Buzz is constantly nice back.
Well, I mean, after the whole fight scene, I mean, at that point, he's getting his revenge, but then, Woody helps him find a spaceship to get Zurg, and so, yeah.
Right. Well, pushing him out the window was crossing the line. Buzz had to make sure he knew that wasn't okay. But
yeah, that was justified.
The constant mean words towards him don't affect Buzz too much.
Yeah.
That's what it seems
I feel like Buzz, when he's delusional, a lot of times he's just kind of in his own little world. He's not he's not always necessarily letting anything that Woody says to him affect him. At least some of the time.
I feel like it's all his training. Like, he probably had, kind of like in the military, how they have like sergeants just, yelling at you all the time.
Sure.
Maybe that's
Shouting
what he had during
insults,
training. Yeah. So he's all like, this is nothing.
Mm-hmm. He's cool and collected most of the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just think it's funny that Buzz like clearly thinks that this was like a real torture situation, and that Sid like must be some minion of Zurg or something.
Yeah. Well, all the Star Wars stuff that Sid is saying probably makes total sense to Buzz.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably. He's probably thinking like, oh yeah, he really is part of like Zurg's team, and he probably is really a bad guy, so.
And there's the deleted scene where Sid's torturing Buzz, which deleted for good reason because it doesn't help the story.
Yeah.
But he didn't talk either, so.
Yeah. I totally forgot.
But I don't know if that's because he's a good toy or because he's a good space ranger.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that deleted scene, because usually we like to talk about the deleted scenes, and I totally forgot that one existed. But I'll put that, if people are curious about it, I think it's on YouTube. I'll put it in the show notes, since I forgot to watch it. So
I don't really remember it, except for there was a drill involved, and he's saying something about 0 G's or something.
Yeah, something like that. I watched it a really long time ago.
Yeah. Can't say we didn't remake the deleted stuff.
No. I'm watching when like all the mutant toys, run out in front of them. Just watching like what each of them does. I never really noticed like Jingle Joe. He just like immediately runs to the door and like looks out, like checking to see
where Scud is, because we know that's why they're blocking the door.
Yeah, and it's almost making me sad how like if only they could just talk.
Right.
Like, it's sad that none of them can talk, which kind of creeps me out more of like, man, like whatever Sid did to them, like made it to where, I guess, because normally I don't see why any one of these toys, at least with a mouth, wouldn't talk if they were Andy's toys.
Yeah.
None of these guys can talk. And it's kind of sad when you see like, like they're trying, like Roller Bob. He's like, I mean, I don't see why Woody and Buzz can't tell. Like Roller Bob's just literally being like, no, don't. And like,
but they interpret it as like, they're trying to keep them trapped.
Like,
in
no,
Sid's
you're
room.
not getting out of here. Yeah.
There's a good message in there somewhere. Just take some time to dig it out.
It is interesting though that they can't talk, because even like later on when like Janie and the pterodactyl are like put back together, I don't think either of them talks, unless there is a doll that like says "Mama" later on during the scene where they like get their revenge on Sid.
Where they're coming out.
But I don't remember if that was Janie or some other doll.
Yeah, it was Janie, but she maybe she's a talking doll, and that's just the noise the voice box makes,
It could be.
I don't think that was words coming out of her mouth.
Yeah.
So we don't know if they talked before or not, but kind of
maybe
stuff
they
you don't want
took
to think too hard
like
about.
maybe they took a vow of silence or something. They're like, we don't talk about this.
I mean,
like maybe it's like the Toy Fight Club or something.
It seems like they only communicate through Morse code.
Yeah.
Right.
It's interesting.
Yeah, each of them are saying no, but it's not no, don't go. It's no, there's...
This is for your own good. Yeah, this is for your safety.
Yeah.
So moving on.
Yeah.
At the 53-second mark, Woody runs behind Buzz and yells.
Oh, I'm Woody, right.
Yeah.
What does he yell? He's putting me to the test. They're going to eat us, Buzz. Do something quick.
Shield your eyes. Shield your eyes.
Which Woody does while Buzz tries to shoot his laser at the mutant toys. When the laser doesn't have any effect, Buzz gets confused and says,
"It's not working. I recharged it before I left. It should be good for..."
No, you idiot. You're a toy. Use your karate chop action.
Woody starts pushing a purple button on Buzz's back, which makes Buzz's arm do karate chops. Buzz says,
"Hey, how are you doing that? Woody, stop that." Oh, sorry, I don't... Whatever.
You're fine. And Woody, I'm sorry. And Sid's toys move out of the way. Once they've made it to the door, Woody says,
"Sorry, guys, but dinner's canceled."
And this is right before he drops Buzz and starts running away.
Cool line, by the way.
Yeah.
I like how he just drops Buzz and Buzz is just kind of like curled like a turtle.
Yeah, I was going to say he looks like a turtle, like laying on his back.
Yeah, he does.
So I always thought like, I always thought that like, why does Woody shield his eyes when Buzz tells him to? But then I realized, well, Buzz doesn't say like, I'm going to shoot my laser, shield your eyes. Like Woody doesn't know what he's going to do. So he's just like following Buzz's direction.
He did ask for help.
This is true.
Yeah.
Shield your eyes. You don't want to see what I'm about to do.
But Buzz, Woody doing the karate chop thing and Buzz just being like, hey, how are you doing that? Is just so funny to me. That's like one of my favorite things in the movie. It cracks me up.
The funny part about it, it's funny because he there's no other part where he isn't in control there. Buzz always thinks he knows what's going on, and it's directly related to some Space Ranger thing. But he's wrong, and and in this part, he has no explanation for what this is.
And right before that, too, his genuine confusion when his laser just isn't working. It's like, I just charged it. It should be good for hours. It's just really funny.
It's funny that it's like he has all this built-in memory of what happened before he went to hypersleep. It's like, so does every Buzz toy remember charging their like laser? But
Yeah, probably.
it's just like they all come with this like pre-memory of something that didn't happen. But is it the real question is like, is it only the Buzz Lightyear toys or every toy? Like,
well,
that's the big question. It's like, did every toy have to go through
the
this?
only toy that we know of, other toy that we know of for sure, other than the Buzz Lightyears, was the Battle Swords in Toy Story That Time Forgot, that also thought they were actual battle swords and not toys.
Well, the weird thing is that they're essentially, when they're born, they're already adults or whatever age they are, because they don't age. So like,
That's
they just
true.
pop into existence at this point. So if they have any prior memory at all, like Forky had no prior memories. He was born, but he could talk already. So it's
you could argue that was just because Bonnie made him. Like, he didn't have any, like, he wasn't already a character like Buzz Lightyear.
He's not from a company. He's not manufactured.
Didn't have a backstory. Yeah.
Well, why wasn't he whatever Bonnie made him to be? Like, in her mind, she must have gave him some kind of. I wonder, like, why he didn't. I don't know what the rules are. Like,
I guess he did think he was trash, because he was made out of trash.
He's made out of like refuse items, so it's like, oh, well, I'm supposed to go in the trash because that's where all of this stuff goes anyways. Like, usually when kids make crafts, eventually if the parents aren't crazy and like collect things for years, they'll just throw it away. So that's probably why.
And then it's a funny joke, but it makes no sense when he says he knows what a carousel is when he's saying
he's all like, oh, you mean the carousel?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you mean a carousel? Like, okay, maybe that's the only thing Bonnie gave him when she made it, was like, okay, he likes carousels. And that's like,
right, she's like, he's gonna ride it with me.
And that's it. That's the only thing she got, and before she got distracted. And so he was born only knowing one thing, what a carousel is. That's my head canon.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, I've always wondered, like, did Woody at one point think he was a real sheriff? Or like, I don't know.
You know, I don't think so, because otherwise he would know everything about the Roundup game.
That's true. Well, now that I think about it, we did talk about this before once, and we said, well, if he had gone through that, then that would make him even more of a jerk to Buzz, if he's been through the same thing before.
Exactly.
But he treats Buzz the way that he does. Then that's
No, I don't think he knew. I think that's just a thing that happened in the Buzz Lightyear assembly line, and apparently the Battle Swords one too.
Yeah.
Anybody who's like any type of like fighter or like a warrior, they just get automatically programmed that this is all you do.
I wonder if I mean, in the movies we never see any other characters from like the Buzz Lightyear cartoon from in that, but I wonder if there were other characters made as toys. Like, did they go through the same things?
Maybe we'll get some hints with Lightyear.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If that's canon, who knows?
I mean, they did mention Booster from the animated series in the trailer, like really briefly.
What?
Yeah, they did. There's something. Someone says something about Booster. Like, I can't remember which part it is.
Oh, I think they're talking about actual boosters on an actual rocket.
That was my first thought too, but it sounds like, from what I remember, I could be wrong, but it sounds like they're talking about a person. I don't know. But I could be totally wrong.
Maybe they left it up to like, ooh, it could be this, but
it's just some kind of Easter egg.
You want to come see it if you liked the Buzz Lightyear Star Command.
Exactly. It's clickbait.
Yeah.
It's movie trailer clickbait.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, those trailer people.
Those trailer people.
The karate chop action scene always makes me think of. Do you remember the old Sega Genesis Toy Story game? Like,
I have it, but I haven't. I've only played like a little bit of it.
Oh, okay. I think they also released that maybe on Super Nintendo. I don't remember, but I know it from the Genesis.
They had it for PC because that's how I played it.
Oh, PC. Yeah, okay. They also had it on PC. Anyway, that was a hard game. Like, and
it was very hard.
It was really hard. And the furthest that we would always be able to get to as kids, if we were doing really good. Well, it's funny. Like there was the one level that was always so hard to beat, and like if you beat it, you were having a good day. If we beat it, was the claw machine level, just like a super hard level where you had to like stop the claw from grabbing Buzz by throwing aliens at the claw. Anyway, that was just such a hard level. You had to time it. Anyway, once you beat that level, you get to Sid's house, which gets even harder, and we could never beat Sid's house as kids. Like we never did. And well, I think it was like it's split into two different levels, Sid's house in the game. Anyway, and at the end at the end of one of them, right at the end, like you get to Buzz, and then the mutant toys start chasing you, and Woody's doing the karate chop with Buzz, and like you have to walk to you have to keep moving, but the mutants are like gaining up on you, so you have to turn around and karate chop them to keep them away. But the thing that's like impossible, and I still want to know how it's possible to do it without ever getting hit, because it's like you have the little toys like Babyface where like he doesn't get hit when you try to turn around and hit him, like he's too short, and like so no matter what you do, he just keeps like hitting into you, and I don't know, I don't understand how I feel like there's no way to beat that part without getting hit, and I don't know. Anyway, I just had to rage a bit.
If somebody's out there and knows,
if someone
the
out there knows that game, tell me, how did you get past that part without some kind of cheat code where you have as many hits? Because I think you can do it, but you have to be like perfectly perfect with the timing of it to keep them away and keep moving forward. Like you have to hit the button so precise to where you can keep moving and they don't gain up on you, because Babyface just keeps hitting you, and like you can't hit him because he's too short. Anyway, that's the game, not the movie. But I just, it's just burned into my brain.
The version of that game that I have played the most was the Game Boy version, because my dentist I went to when I was a kid had Game Boys attached to all the chairs for kids to play while we were waiting, and I would always play the Toy Story game, and I never made it past I don't think I ever made it past the first level, mostly just because, I didn't have that much time to play, but also because I was a little child and it was a difficult game, even on the Game Boy.
Yeah, the Sega one was hard. We used to have our dad do the level where you're driving as RC.
That was the one I couldn't beat.
It was so weird the way the controls were. So every time we played the game, when it got to that level, we were like, Dad, can you do it? And then he would do. That's the only time I've ever seen him play a video game. I mean, eventually we were able to do it ourselves as we got older, but like we had to have him do the driving part.
Yeah, at some point I want to do a bonus episode about that game, because I think that would be fun. But anyway, getting back to the movie.
Yeah, let's get back to the movie. So, at the 1 minute 17-second mark, Woody runs through the hallway repeating,
"There's no place like home. There's no place like home."
And he's repeating this over and over again. He stops at the top of the stairs and, thinking the coast is clear, runs down the stairs, only to find that Scud is sleeping on the landing. He slowly backs away and walks back up the stairs. At the top of the stairs, Buzz puts his hand on Woody's mouth and pulls him around the corner. Buzz whispers.
Oh. Well, first, Woody makes some, like, oh my gosh. You okay?
That's the noise he made, was trying to breathe. I think a breathing noise.
And then Buzz says something like, stop. What does he say? Like,
pull another stunt like that, cowboy. You're going to get us killed.
Oh, pull another stunt like that. Oh, I never really heard that. That's what he says. Pull another stunt like that, cowboy, and you'll get us killed.
Woody pulls Buzz's hand off of his mouth and responds,
"Don't tell me what to do."
Once Buzz shushes him, he looks around the corner and runs to the other side of the stairs. He gestures for Woody to follow him. Woody hesitates for a moment before getting down on all fours and crawling towards Buzz. Woody stands up and doesn't notice when his pull string catches on the decorative part of the iron railing. The clip ends just as it comes off, and before his voice box goes off.
Yeah, it ends in like a terrible spot, because it's like right as it starts to snap back into his back, but we don't actually hear hear the voice
Yes.
box.
It leaves you on a cliffhanger.
The suspense. You're going to have to tune into the next episode to know what happens because no one's watched this movie. They're just listening to this,
Obviously,
right?
this is brand new.
They're just listening to us.
Nobody
We have no
knows.
idea what
It's very suspenseful. Let
we
me
have
tell
no
you.
idea what saying it's going to be. Woody's such a wimp.
He is. He acts bold, but he's not. I also love that when Buzz tells him that he could have gotten them killed, that Woody says, "Don't tell me what to do," but Woody just does whatever the heck he wants all the time anyway.
Yeah.
And then Buzz goes ahead and tells him to shh.
Yeah.
It's like Woody, you just wanted like Buzz to be in charge and for him to like take care of things, and now you're like, and now he's like, "Don't tell me what to do."
Exactly.
Some great realistic dog sleeping animation going
I
on.
was going to
with
say, I
Scud.
love how
nailed
horrible
it.
he looks.
I mean, I just love his eye twitch. They got
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
just
Yes,
that.
watching dogs sleep in real life is fantastic. I love watching our dogs sleep.
I love how in our version of the movie, I mean, Scud
He's
was
wide awake.
he was the most hyper thing ever, and yeah, he was not sleeping. He was just like,
But he did lay down in the right
we got him to lay
position.
down, but he was so hyped up. He just laid there and like he was all breathing all and like that dog was so. I mean, he was a great actor, but he just could not.
He could
That dog
chill
was
out.
probably
calm,
like, I am the star of the show. I'm so excited.
Got a lot of attention, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so it's just funny because in our movie, you still hear the regular audio from the movie when it shows Scud sleeping. So you hear him snoring, but our dog's just like, he's just like all like wide awake and like, yeah, it's
I
funny.
mean, we could have like slowed it down in post, but that would look way worse.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is too
I
funny.
think they said in the audio commentary that they actually like used some audio from, was it like Jurassic Park or something for Scud
Probably.
in this scene.
Mhm.
It's funny.
Well, the Jurassic Park reference is coming up in the very next clip. So
Yeah.
with his eye opening and dilating,
Oh
Uh-huh.
yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
Jurassic Park thing.
Well, it's funny to say Jurassic Park. Meanwhile, the Jurassic Park noises were mostly like what, walruses and like
Yeah.
I think something like most scary monster noises are either walruses or what else am I thinking of? There's definitely lions or tigers they use too.
Mhm.
Anything in reverse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think sometimes elephants too make
Yeah.
Like
Scary
monsters.
dinosaur noises.
koalas. Man, those things like growl like
Koalas
demons.
are ferocious. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Have you ever
You
seen a
could,
wet koala? They look scary.
Oh yeah, but like you could totally sample and sound of them and like make
Mhm.
something very demonic.
I drew a picture of a koala before at school.
Really?
Wow.
We have a third guest, you guys. My son drew a picture of a koala at school.
That's pretty cool.
We're going to have to put your picture in the show notes.
Oh, okay.
Now, when Woody, I always hang on. So when he comes up the stairs, he has like a dirty mark now on his cheek. Or when did that? When did that first appear?
Mm.
Right, he's got that grime now on.
Yeah.
Like,
Right. He's
under
got a
his
little
ear.
bit of like a.
And this is always the first scene that I notice it. But when did he get that? That's not where he didn't get that right there, did he? I mean,
Mm-mm.
I wonder,
get
Well,
it
no,
when-
because if you're looking at the Fruit
Before
Loops
or
scene, he
after-
doesn't
did
have
he get
Yeah,
it?
before or after Buzz grabs him?
Huh.
well, I'm looking again now when he's doing the karate chop. If it's there, did it just come from being tortured? Like, was it already? It must.
Did it come from maybe the fight scene, like that early on, or
Okay, it is there when he's doing the karate chop. I can still see it. So, but is it there when he's being like, I don't know.
I'm looking at it. It's kind of hard to tell.
But right there when he comes back up the stairs is where it's like super noticeable.
Yeah.
Like, it's like just as dirt right there on his face.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know when it goes away either.
Mhm.
Buzz is super dirty too, though. There, when he you can see all this dirt on him when he gets to the other side of the stairs, and
Yeah.
he's all nasty too.
Yeah.
I always love the sound effect when they run across the carpet. Just that, I don't know why. I just I like that sound. It's just it's just so quiet. All you
That
hear is just
soft thump, yeah.
that soft
Yeah,
thump.
it's
Something about it is
satisfying.
it's very satisfying. I love all the sounds in this
It's
movie.
ASMR. Toy Story is the
Someone-
original ASMR.
Someone needs to make like Toy Story ASMR with just sound effects.
Sounds
from
like
this
that,
movie.
Well, there's a cool bonus feature on the Toy Story 2 DVD, I think, where you can watch the scene of new Buzz and Zurg fighting on the elevator, and you can watch it with just the sound effects, with just the dialogue, or with just the score. And it's pretty cool.
I think they
cool.
did that too on one of the DVDs with the mutant toys scene that we just talked about.
That's cool. Maybe it's one of the versions
Or one
I
of
don't
the
have.
scenes. I don't know. I think I saw it on YouTube at some point. We talked before about Woody being impulsive, and I feel like this is like the prime example of Woody just running into something without thinking ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, he knows that he can't leave Buzz behind because they won't let him back into Andy's room without him. But at this moment, he's more concerned about survival.
Yeah.
He's the flight version of that, fight or flight.
He is, yes, for sure.
Whereas Buzz, despite the fact that he still thinks he's a space ranger, he's still somehow the voice of reason, trying to be like, "Hey, let's figure out a plan of like actually how to get out instead of just running for it and almost getting caught by Scud."
Right. Buzz isn't dumb. He's just confused. He has a confused identity problem, but he's not stupid.
Yeah.
I also realized they must have cheated the perspective on the stairs when Woody's going back up. Because Woody's like 16 inches tall. There's no way he could just like walk up a normal pair of stairs.
Right.
The way he
he's
does.
pretty
We'd really
flexible.
have
He
to-
could probably reach his leg up there. He's pretty
Maybe.
flexible. He could do that.
It's like that
But
meme
he, like,
of the
reaches
guy
one
going
leg
over like
behind.
6 steps.
Yes, it's
Yeah.
that. But that's what it would look like if you had it at a different angle. It's the camera angles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and he like reaches one leg behind the other to climb up
weird.
the stairs,
Yeah.
which I didn't notice until watching it for this podcast.
Right.
I'm
Well,
like, I don't
he
know.
does run down a lot of stairs and then tiptoe up like 2, and then he's at the top. But that's just the editing trick that every movie uses. You don't want to watch everybody take every step.
Right.
Well, it
45
makes more
minutes
sense
later,
when
that's when
he's
he got
going
back up the
Yeah,
stairs.
exactly.
Yeah, it makes more sense when he's going down because he can just kind of
Flop down.
jump
yeah.
down each step. But like, I don't know how he can lift his legs enough to be able to like just walk up the stairs.
Yeah. I will say in our movie, finding those stairs was not easy. They're like, I don't know if it's just an Arizona thing, but like it's not very common to have stairs with a platform in the middle.
Mhm.
It took a while to find some good ones.
Yeah.
And then even ours, I think there was it wasn't one flat rectangle square. There was a couple big triangle size steps, and Scud just had to sleep all crooked and
Wonky on there.
cattywampus against the stairs. And he just like lays down across a few stairs. But,
I mean, whatever works as long as it worked out right.
yeah, I haven't watched ours recently, but I feel like our trainer was sitting like on the step right next to him, and then she just
she had
moved,
one hand on him. Yeah, she was.
or just like right next to the step next to him,
Mhm.
and then we just had her move later, and we cropped the stairs back in so that she was gone. I think that because like I don't think he would have stayed laying down on the stairs without a trainer sitting next to him.
I was wondering how he doesn't feel his pull string catching on that thing. Because you would
Does
think he would be
feel
able
his
to
pull
feel
string?
it.
No, it's like in a weird spot. It's like if somebody have you seen people getting clothes pinned and you like add the clothespins onto people's clothes on their back? See how many you can
Mhm.
get? That's what it's like.
Oh yeah.
It's like that. That's what having a pull string is like.
Maybe. You only feel it
Maybe
when it's
maybe
taut.
that's why he doesn't react when it's like being pulled out of his back in Toy Story 4.
Right.
'Cause he
Maybe
can't
it's just
feel
like
it.
getting a
Yeah.
haircut. Like you don't feel your hair getting cut. It's just
I
part of your
think
head.
you'd feel your internal organs getting pulled out, but
That's true. Or like the fabric tearing.
yeah, I don't know.
I
Cut
don't
it
know.
off.
Peter feels his hairs get cut. It's very
Oh,
dramatic.
no, that's-
dramatic.
You need to get that checked out.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just try not to think about 4 too much. It's not my favorite, if that's not clear. But
I only like Ducky
that's
and
okay.
Bunny.
I don't like Ducky and Bunny.
And the one chicken dinner.
We don't need to
That's
get into
okay.
that. That move's a hot
We-
mess. If you want to have me back to complain about it later whenever you get there.
We're going to bring
You
you
can
back when we
be-
review that one.
That'll be
You
a much
can-
angrier episode. I don't know if I want to,
You can
to put that
balance
out there in the
out.
world.
Yeah,
You
we
can
don't want to promote
balance.
negativity.
You can balance out our positive feelings about it.
Yes.
There you
I don't
go.
know if
It'll
you want
be a
that.
very non-biased episode.
Maybe. I mean, people just, I don't know. I don't need to put out my, like Jesse
You're
said.
like, people
we
don't need to know my
more
true feelings.
negativity. Well, people know, but I'm just not a nice person when you ask me about Toy Story 4.
It's kind of a running joke now that in almost every episode we end up going on some kind of long tangent. Sometimes not long, but I mean sometimes they're long.
Sometimes
but
it's
we
long.
end up going on a
Well, I
tangent
heard
about
one
Toy
that was
Story
a little
4.
bit long. Yeah.
You're like, you just
But
say
usually
Toy Story
ours are
4, that's too long.
positive. usually ours are positive though, but it's okay. We
I
allow
just-
differing opinions.
That's funny.
on
no,
this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very beautiful looking movie.
Yeah.
That's my positive thing to say about it.
It's okay. You can have a different opinion.
Thanks. Thanks for allowing me to do that.
Yes, you needed our permission.
Yeah. Without it, you would have been,
Just storing up
a
this
sitting
this
duck,
negative
and
thought.
yes,
Yeah, these thoughts. Where am I supposed to let these thoughts come out? Well, if we're going back to the movie that we're talking about, I could say really fast that that Buzz's karate chop action was something that bugged me, that they never had it on the toys. I had a little one that could do karate chop action, and I had a big one that was supposed to be like the movie from '95, but his wings were short and he didn't have karate chop action.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then just this Christmas, both my kids, they're sharing him, got a new Buzz from the Disney store, who has both wings that pop out bigger than the ones that I had when I was a
And
kid.
they even light up.
They even light
Ooh.
up.
Wow.
And they even karate chop.
And he even karate chops.
And
That's
he
so
Wow.
cool.
opens his helmet.
And his helmet does that whoosh thing.
That
When
whoosh
you push the
thing.
button, it goes open on its own. It's like, I'm so geeking out about this new Buzz. Like, he's not completely perfect. It's just like the one that we used in our movie was the Toy Story collection version.
Mhm.
And he does extra things like move his head around
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. And his wings were impressive. I really like how articulate he is. But this new one has karate chop action. It's incredible.
That's pretty cool.
And
It's a
it
real
has-
feat of engineering.
and even on his leg, it has covers. for
His
the
Oh,
yes,
wow.
yes. So Jesse, remember how one of our stunt Buzzes had a million holes in it because he had screws all over the place?
Oh,
Yeah.
We made jokes about how we got attacked by the holes in things fairy. Well, this new one, they had that same problem, but they covered up every hole with a little plastic bit. It's like
Oh, that's cool.
Mm.
they did a really
That's
great
neat.
job on this new one. Now he's not as articulate as the other one that we used in our movie,
Mhm.
but he's really good.
That's
And
pretty cool.
he
That's
doesn't
pretty cool.
say every right thing, like the voice. Like, they really just need to hire me as a consultant, and I'll tell them the things he needs to say, and we'll be okay. But
Now,
Yes.
I know the newer like Disney store Woodies have Bonnie written on the bottom of their foot. Does that one have Bonnie or?
he's got
Or
nothing
Andy.
on his foot,
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
which is how he should come, fresh
Yeah.
out of the box.
Yeah, I have the Toy Story collection, Buzz, and he's a really neat figure, but I too was also always disappointed by the lack of karate chop.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you think about it, and maybe it's a joke in your podcast that they are physically impossible things to do.
Mhm.
But Disney magic, they figured it out. Sure, his wings aren't quite as big as they probably should be, but they really did it.
I am Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger.
Yeah, in the movie, his wings are so long that they wouldn't actually fit inside of his jetpack. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
movie
Yeah.
magic.
yeah, there's a lot of movie magic going on with Buzz, even just like hitting his laser.
That he can reach his other arm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, when we had to do that in our movie, we just got another Buzz, and his other arm was his other arm. Problem
There you
solved.
go.
I did notice weird thing, in the Toy Story 3 IRL guys who remade the entire Toy Story 3 with stop motion, they had a Buzz figure whose arms, I don't know if they did it on purpose or if this was a feature, his arms came out of his socket to reach the other side of his body. I think they just took their Buzz apart for certain shots so that he could do physically impossible things.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, whatever works.
Yeah, whatever you got to do for the shot.
Yeah. I think that's about all I have to say about this clip.
Yeah, really good suspense building.
Well, since we're at the end, now it is your turn to answer the questions, which we had asked them. What did we ask you in the previous question? I'm so sorry. What are the questions, Mason?
History with
It should
Toy
be-
Story.
How has
It should
Toy
be at
Story
the
changed?
end of your. It should be at the end of your notes, like right before the very end.
It was how. Did
Oh
Toy
yes,
Story
what
change
is the
your life?
history? I'm sorry, this is
What's
like
your
a
history?
tiny.
That's okay. What's your history with Toy Story, Jesse? I answered this in the previous
Yes, and
episode.
which one is your favorite?
Okay. So let's see. My history with Toy Story was, I don't remember the first time seeing it as a kid. I mean, I guess I would have been 4 when it came out. I just, as early as I can remember, we've had VHS of it. And that Toy Story really gave me, I feel like, my sense of like creativity. I think it was one of the biggest factors in that. It I feel like it just affected how I played, like how me and my brother would play like with our toys. When we used to like play with our toys, we kind of, it was almost like we acted out, like instead of just playing with them like, oh hi, I'm blah 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 blah, we like to play a lot like they were like toys, like running around the room, or like interacting with this world as if you were watching Toy Story, the way they're alive and like moving. I think, yeah, like that's how we would play with them a lot. And so just, I think creatively it kind of affected me a lot. And then Toy Story 2, I remember clearly when that came out, going to the theater right by our house, and I still think of that night as just like the most magical movie, I don't know, experience. Like, just everything about that night was so magical to me. Like, just going to the theater, and just before and after all the talking I did with my brother, and I had like one of my toys with me, and I was just like, just had this whole little show going. And then, yeah, after the movie, and like, I mean, the movie was amazing. And just, yeah, afterwards, we went back home, and like me and my brother were downstairs in like our playroom, and we just immediately like got our toys out, and just like and I don't know, it's just like, it's just one of the most fun nights ever. And Toy Story 3 I saw with Jonason and some other of all of our closest friends. That was also a really, memorable time, movie experience. So, yeah, so I've always been a huge fan, and My favorite, I mean, it's like a tie between 1 and 2. Like they're both my favorites for like different reasons. I feel like, I mean, number 1, like uh, it's just the nostalgia of it, like everything. I don't know. It's just, it gives me these certain feels that the second one doesn't do as much, just because the first one was the first one, and so I don't know. So I just get more like of this real nostalgic feeling when I think of the first movie. But they're both like the same level of just greatness. As far as the second one, I feel like the only thing is, I feel like with the second that I feel like I like a little more is because all the secondary characters like Slinky and Rex and Potato Head and Ham, like I really like those guys, and I like that they just get way more action in the second movie. Like Mr. Potato Head and Ham and Slinky were always like my favorite. I mean, of course, I love Woody and Buzz, but I just like how much stuff happens with them in the second movie. And I feel like the adventure is still pretty big in the first movie, and I feel like in the second movie, it's just kind of, it goes a little bit bigger, and especially like when they're driving the Pizza Planet truck, will always be like one of the greatest movie moments in my mind. Like I just remember my heart being like out of its chest during that scene. I just remember just feeling like it was the coolest thing ever when they started driving the truck. Like I feel like I've never hit that high of like, I don't know, just excitement in the theaters. Anyway, so I love them. I love them all 3, because there's only 3.
As I said in the last episode, all 3 of them.
Well,
yeah.
thank you so much for your input. I thoroughly enjoyed your walk down memory lane.
Yeah, thank you, Jonason.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else y'all would like to plug before we go?
Well, last time we plugged our channel. I could also plug, if you want to see some really funny Toy Story related stuff, my brother has a channel where he has made 2 hilarious mashups of Toy Story, where if you guys are familiar with like a YouTube poop, I don't know if you know what that is, but like it's kind of in that style, but it's even funnier because it doesn't rely on like annoying random sound effects, or like he basically just takes the movie and just like re-edits it, so he only uses content from the movie but just kind of like changes how, it's just really funny. Anyway, if you want to check that out, his channel is let me sure I have the right name.
Yes, it's like YouTube poop but classy.
Yeah, it's not
nice.
Annoying.
It's sophisticated poop.
Sophisticated.
So the videos are it's just called Toy Story Re-Edited, and then YTP in parentheses afterwards. But his channel is Drum Ike, like it drum and then IKE 107. Yeah, check out his re-edits of Toy Story. They're so hilarious. And yeah, the more you know the movie, like the funnier it is too. I feel like it's just really, really good.
Yeah. I'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah,
Great.
You guys are the perfect audience for it. Once again, same
Perfect.
as our live action remake.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for being on 2 whole episodes with us.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. It's been great.
Likewise. Thanks for having us, and you are lovely hosts. Thank you.
Oh, well, thanks.
Thanks.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. Be sure to follow our Facebook and Twitter accounts and send us an email if you have any thoughts, comments, questions, or concerns. And if you enjoy the podcast, please give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Say bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thanks
Bye.
for having us. Goodbye.
Bye.
Has anyone emailed you with a concern?
No, I should hope they never do.
Oh, that's good. Okay, good. Just checking.
I mean, that started as kind of a joke because we were talking about like what should we say in the outro, and I said like questions, comments, and then I think you said like
I just added
deep
and concerns.
Well, the concerns might start coming in. We talked about the magnifying glass thing today, so
True.
they might start coming in.